All right, so in this video, I plan to just go through the first two chapters of the textbook and discuss how I pronounce things and compare it. So the focus of this video is pronunciation and not just random things or various things about the alphabet. So I have done this before, but I will go ahead and do it again. The pronunciation of each of these letters I will put in a frame, and so you will hear the sound that the letter makes in the middle of one. So when I say ah or ba, it's the B sound in the middle. So we're putting an ah on either side of the sound. So here goes. For the aleph, this is a glottal stop, and same sound as when we say uh-oh. It just is a stop in the throat like that. So ah. And then this is the bet. This is pronounced like a B, ba. And when it has two different sounds that it makes. So when it has no dot in the middle, we actually pronounce it like a V. So ava. B with a dot in the middle, and V without a dot. The gimel, aga, and this one also has that variation where it can have a dot and it cannot have a dot. I will pronounce them all the same. So it's always aga. This book describes pronouncing those two, pronouncing it in two different ways. If it has the dot, this book will suggest pronouncing it aga, just like we do. And then if it doesn't have the dot, they have a soft pronunciation, which is aga. Sorry, it's a velar fricative, voiced velar fricative, which would be aga. I think that's right. Here, the dalet, it has, it's pronounced ada, like a D. Again, this book would also suggest that you pronounce the D without the dot, or the dalet without the dot, in a soft way, which is like our voiced TH. So, ada. But we are just having the one pronunciation, the D sound. So this one is just an H sound, aha. This is a V sound, not a W sound, ava. And this here is a Z sound, aza. This is a, I'm doing this as a voiceless uvular fricative, aha. So this is telling you to pronounce it like the German Bach, which is actually velar in German. So in German, that would be a voiceless velar fricative, a little further forward in the mouth. We will be pronouncing this a little further back as a voiceless uvular fricative, aha. However, there are other pronunciations, and I believe Aleph with Beth does it this way, where it pronounces this as a voiceless pharyngeal fricative. And so that would be like you're breathing on a mirror kind of H. And so this would be distinguished from the hey in that this is further back. So I'm sorry, it's actually further forward, but so this would be aha, aha, versus the H, which is just a normal, the hey, which is a normal H, aha. So aha versus aha. That's not how we're going to pronounce this, though. This is aha. Okay, so those are your options, or that's what's going on there for my pronunciation. Many people will try to pronounce this one as a pharyngealized stop. So that means that there is some constriction in the throat while it is being pronounced just like a normal T otherwise. Again, that's how some people will pronounce it. I will be pronouncing it as just a normal T. So I will pronounce it ata, ata. Others pronounce it ata, ata. So my pronunciation of the tet is the same as my pronunciation of the tav. Okay, so that's just a first off. Now we have the yod. The yod, it is pronounced like a Y sound. A ya. It is sometimes participates as a vowel letter. So that means that it is paired with a vowel sound just orthographically, that is in the alphabet. It can be function as a vowel instead of a consonant like a Y. So that is that. Here we have the kaf. Okay, so the kaf is usually often has the dot in the middle, and when it has the dot in the middle, it has the hard pronunciation. Aka, aka. When it does not have the dot in the middle, it is pronounced with the voiceless uvular fricative. So that would be aha. Now, notice that I just pronounced it, as I said, with the voiceless uvular fricative without the dot, the soft pronunciation. And that's the same as I am choosing to pronounce the chet over here. Okay, so aha, oops, I'm sorry. Yep, so this here, the chet over here, the chet is aha, and the kaf, when it has no dot, the soft pronunciation is aha. Okay. Allah, this is the lamed. Allah, just like an L. There are dark L's and light L's in English, so that's velarized if it's a dark L. However, we're going to do only the light L's. So like when we say L, you hear the difference between L and ol. When we say apple in English, that's a dark L. And some people actually only use dark L's. Lion, they might say lion. However, I will be pronouncing these as light L's. Light L's. 1 second here. All right, so as I said, I'm going to be pronouncing it as a light L, so it's not velarized. For some people, they use a light L at the beginning of a word that starts. When an L is at the beginning of a word, they'll use a light L, and if it is like in apple at the end of a word or as a syllable itself, they use a dark L. So we will be using the light L. So lamed, Allah, Allah versus Allah, Allah. See the difference? Hear the difference? Allah versus Allah. Okay, so we're going to do Allah. The mem, just like an M, amma. The nun, just like a nun, anna. Just like an N sound. Samech is just like an S sound, asa. Ayin. I will be pronouncing this the same as we pronounce aleph. So it is a glottal stop. So ah. Some people will pronounce it as a voiced pharyngeal fricative, which is in the back of the throat, and it goes ah. I will not be doing that. Here's the pei. This is the same sound as a P sound. So apa. If it does not have the dot, as this does not here, but then it will have a soft pronunciation, afa, F sound there. So this is the tzadi. Tzadi is pronounced like a TS, as it says over here. So I will say atza. Some people will pronounce the tzadi as a voiceless pharyngeal fricative, and so they will say asa. Sounds almost like an S, but it's actually not. Again, we're just doing the TS sound. Here's the kof. It's pronounced aka. That's going to be pronounced the same as I pronounce a hard kaf here. So they will sound the same. Some people will pronounce this as a uvular stop, so they will say akka. Again, I will not be doing that. The resh. This is a voiced uvular fricative. Ara, ara. There are a couple other ways to do this. There is one temptation people have, and also a tradition that is used with the resh, is to pronounce it like you would a trilled Spanish R. So ara, ara. You may if you want to. I will be pronouncing it as the uvular trill. Ara, ara. Another way that people often do it is to do it as a voiced uvular fricative. So ara, ara. So those are the different ways that you might hear. Again, we are not going to pronounce it like an English R. Ara, ara. Please go ahead and do the Spanish R if you're going to do, if you can. Like if you can't do the uvular trill, ara, go ahead and do a Spanish alveolar trill, the ara. It's better than doing an English R. Okay, so we have the sin, pronounced like an S, asa. Now that's the same as we pronounce the samech up here, asa. Shin, asha, just like an SH sound. Okay? This is the tav, ata, ata, and if that's with the, it can have the dot and it cannot have the dot. In the case of the tav, we pronounce it the same, ata, ata. Some people, however, will pronounce the soft pronunciation. They'll give it a soft pronunciation, which is atha, just like a TH sound. We're not going to do that. Okay. Final forms. It is helpful to know when there's a hard and a soft pronunciation. You'll notice that with the kaf and the pei here. You have the option, right, of a soft pronunciation or a hard pronunciation. Is it a ka or a cha for the kaf? So would you say this would be either derech or derek? That would be your initial options. However, every time that this is in the final form, unless it is given itself a dot, it will be pronounced as in the soft pronunciation. So that would be derech, derech. Okay? And so the same for the pei, which it is never given a dot anyway. So this is always going to be the soft pronunciation. So it's not kesep, but it is kesef, kesef. Okay? Those are your options, or that's how you think through that. I talked about the Begat letters earlier while we went through each of the letters. Here, I'll just do it real quickly again. B, V. So we are going to make that distinction, hard, soft. Gimel. This one, we are not going to make the distinction. G, G. Dalet. D, D. No distinction. Kaf. K, Ch. We're making the distinction. Pe, P, F. Tav. So there is a distinction there. Tav, ta, ta. No distinction. This talks about the pronunciation of the aleph and the ayin. Again, I said that we will pronounce it the same, which is, they say silent, but it is a little stop in the throat. So just like when you say uh-oh, you stopped. You didn't say uh-oh, you say uh-oh. That's what the aleph and the ayin is. We will continue on. This is true. So the tet and the tav are pronounced the same. The kaf and the kof are pronounced the same. The samech and the sin are pronounced the same. It's mentioning traditional versus modern pronunciation. We're following the modern pronunciation. So if you want a summary here, it's in 1.9. Gimel, Dalet, and Tav are all, without the dot, are all pronounced the hard way in modern pronunciation. See this? Traditional, modern. This is G, and this is G. Okay. So. The vowels. see.